Upon reaching the grand city of Markarth, we are instantly met with its trademark craziness. A woman stabbed in the market straight away. Being the hero who's always down for a little violence, we step in and chop this fool. Some guy with a shitty face tattoo gives us a note, and to be honest, we don't have time for all this fuss. We can just read this later. Perhaps another video can tackle this one, but we've got to see the Jarl. We make our way through the dwemer structures that the people of Markarth call home and head towards the Jarl's palace, Understone Keep. If you can put aside the craziness, Markarth truly is a marvellous city, aesthetically at least. As we enter Understone Keep, our path to the Jarl is blocked by two people bickering. Let's be the sticky beak we are and eavesdrop on the conversation.
Typical Imperial lies. First you take away Talos. Now you're keeping us from seeing our honored dead? You and the Jarl will answer for any desecration of my ancestors' bodies.
That's enough, Thongvor. We're done.
We just overheard a conversation between Thongvor Silverblood and Brother Verulus about the Hall of the Dead and its closure. Let's get everyone up to speed on these guys. Thongvor Silverblood is the older brother of Thonar Silverblood. The Silverbloods themselves are the wealthiest and most influential family in the Reach. They own the largest silver mining business as well as Sidna Mine, which doubles as the most secure jail in all of Skyrim. Thongvor himself is a staunch Stormcloak supporter and traditional Nord. He expresses a great distaste for the Empire and the ban of Talos worship. It's understandable why he's angry about being kept out of the Hall of the Dead. You see, Nords have a great respect for their dead and often visit these halls to honor their fallen family members and friends, but Brother Verulus here, who is a priest of Archay, is denying anyone access. But we don't know why. Perhaps we should go and investigate and see if we can resolve this issue. After all, having friends in high up places like Thongvor could always be useful. As we make our way through the hollowed out Understone Keep, we see more of that beautiful Dwemer architecture, and then we see the priest walking up towards the Hall of the Dead. Let's go see what he has to say about all of this.
Might consider joining up myself.
If it's about the Hall of the Dead, no, you can't go in there. New to Skyrim? I was confused at first too. The Nords call their mausoleums the Hall of the Dead. It's where people in the city are buried. Fathers, forefathers, mothers, foremothers. Archay, one of the 8 divines, god of the cycle of birth and death. It is his shrine people pray to when they visit the hall, that his divinity will watch over their ancestors on the way to the next life. I can't talk about it. Rest assured, the Jarl hears everyone's concerns. You will be able to visit the dead again soon. All right. I was going to suggest the Jarl hire someone to sort this mess out anyway. We've discovered that some of the dead have been eaten. Flesh has been chewed off. Bones were snapped to get at the marrow inside. We haven't caught anyone or anything yet. It's like it knows when I'm there. If you can get to the bottom of this, the priesthood of Archay will reward you. Take my key, and be careful.
Brother Verulus here is a priest of Archay, the divine of birth and death. These priests are usually responsible for maintaining the halls of the dead. Brother Verulus here has discovered something sinister, and it is the reason why he has to close the halls. Something or someone has been eating and taking bites out of the corpses that rest in these halls. We cunningly convinced him that if we were allowed entry, we would get to the bottom of this problem. Let's head on in and uncover the truth.
Not many would walk blindly into a crypt, smelling of steel and blood, but not fear. I feel the hunger inside of you, gnawing at you. You see the dead, and your mouth grows wet. Your stomach growls. It's all right. I will not shun you for what you are. Stay. I will tell you everything you have forgotten.
You were young when you first tasted human flesh, weren't you? A brother or sister had died? An accident, of course. Then the hunger set in. Curiosity. What's the harm in just one bite? It's okay now. You found a friend who understands you. you can let go of your guilt. A lot of our kind block out the memory of their first meal. The shame is too much. But you don't need to hide anymore. Namira, the Lady of Decay, accepts you for what you are. She has a place for us where we can sate our appetites without judgment. It's inside Reachcliff Cave, but the dead have stirred from their slumber recently, and I was forced here. Meet me there. We'll fight our way to Namira's embrace together. Until then, tell the people of Markarth that their dead won't be disturbed anymore. We have bigger plans ahead.
So that was creepy. As we entered the hall, we were met by a voice echoing throughout the halls. She revealed herself to us and made some pretty dark implications. Eola is a cannibal herself and believes that we too have tasted human flesh when we were young, saying that we often block out the memories. That is pretty grim. Whether I believe that or not, I don't know. Eola promised that she would no longer disturb the dead here and that we could tell Brother Verulus that the halls are safe once more, which means they can be opened once again, which means mission accomplished and brownie points with Thongvor. However, Eola brought up that she is a worshipper of Namira, and now that's definitely intriguing. I think we will take her up on her request to meet her at Reachcliff Cave, but first, as we take the long journey, let's fill everyone in on who Namira actually is. Namira is the Daedric prince of sundry dark and shadowy spirits. Her sphere is ancient darkness and she revels in the disgusting and repulsive. Her other names are the Mistress of Decay and Devourer of the Dead. She is the patron god of cannibals, taking pleasure in the consumption of mortal flesh. She is also associated with pretty much anything mortals find repulsive. Spiders, slugs, insects, ugliness, the list goes on. Namira rests in her realm of oblivion known as the Scuttling Void, presumably surrounding herself with all things revolting. She is one of the subtler Daedra. Lots of history is hard to find. However, there is one tale that stands out, a tale that sums up Namira quite succinctly. This is the tale of Weedle, a prince of Valenwood who lived during the First Era. Poor Weedle was the 13th child of a king, and as a result he was in no position to inherit any property or wealth. He went off to search for fortune and fame and came about a vagabond whom he saved. It turned out this vagabond was actually Namira, which he recognized. He begged her for power and glory. He followed her for 33 days and 33 nights, groveling at her feet. After this time had passed, Namira had informed him that he had completed his apprenticeship and he would be granted her power. She gave him 3 blessings: disease, pity, and disregard. With these blessings, he became legendary amongst beggars. The first blessing meant he could choose to have any disease as long as it had visible symptoms, but he always needed to have one. The second blessing allowed him to evoke pity from any passerbys, and the final blessing gave him access to many secrets as people would unknowingly say important things nearby him due to their disregard for a pitiful beggar. It is said to this day that beggars hold many unknown secrets as they are the eyes and ears of the city. Now we have a better understanding of Namira, let's go meet Eola and help her out.
You've come. The Draugr infesting Namira's sanctuary are inside. I was hoping you would say that.
Time to go in with Eola and clear out these Draugr. Merrin's razor will come in handy when slashing up these walking corpses.
Draugr are below. Foul tasting.
Now that we've cleared all the Draga, let's go talk to Eola.
You've done it. The shrine is ours again. Now we need to prepare a grand feast to welcome you to Namira's Coven. You will have the honor of bringing a fresh kill for the main course, and I know the perfect person. A priest filled with the taste of an easy life, Brother Verulus from Markarth. Give him this gold, tell him you need Arke's help exploring an old cavern for treasure. And when he stands in Namira's presence, she will take care of the rest. Say hello to Verulus for me.
Eola has asked us to go and find a sacrifice for a cannibalistic feast that will be held. I guess we just became inducted into a cannibal cult. Who cares, I'm a little peckish anyway, and there will probably be something at the end of this that's worthwhile. So let's go find the priest of Arke, Brother Verulus. But first, what's the deal with cannibalism anyways? I wonder how often it actually does happen in Tamriel. It would be pretty reasonable to assume that there would be isolated cases all over, perhaps out of desperation when traveling the Droll Mountains, maybe miners trapped in a cave, and there are bound to be more Namira cults having similar feasts around Tamriel as well. Though there is one place where cannibalism is actually very widespread. However, it isn't carried out in the name of Namira, but instead another god, Y'ffre. The Wood Elves of Valenwood, as per the Green Pact that they made with the forest god Y'ffre, must not waste any meat. That includes the consumption of enemy flesh. Bosmer warriors have been known to fast before a battle because they will have to consume their enemies in the aftermath, which is pretty intense. But besides that, it seems cannibalism is pretty scarce in practice. Anyways, we've found Verulus, time to convince him to come with us.
We all come into Arke's light in the end, but there's no need to rush. You are looking for Arke's protection while you delve some dank tomb, I take it? My duties keep me busy in Markarth. I don't know if I can help you. Treasure, you say? I suppose the Jarl won't mind if I'm gone for a little while. Lead on.
It seems the virtuous priest is greedier than you'd think, motivated by the promise of treasure. Time to take him back to Reachcliff Cave to get him some of that, treasure.
Who are you? What's going on?
Priest of Arke, I'm your friend.
You're my... friend?
Yes, I'm your friend, and I've invited you to dinner.
I've been invited to dinner. I'm so hungry.
Why don't you lay down and rest while we get the meal ready?
I need to lay down. I'll just be a minute.
Come with me. Our feast is about to begin.
As we arrive at the feast, Eola quickly manipulates Verulus using some subtle magic and leads him off to the end of the hall. It seems that the guests have arrived. A few more familiar faces than I would have expected.
The bloodiest beef in the Reach. Now that is a good question. Where does Hogni get the finest, freshest meat from all over the Reach? The answer is simple. Orcs. There is a stronghold nearby whose hunters can butcher a deer in seconds. Now having an orc for a wife would be something, yes. Strong and bulky. Too bad they don't let people go beyond the walls. Let me show you where they are. Maybe they welcome you. Maybe they put an arrow in your face. Who knows?
You buy a war dog from me? There's a reason why my hounds are so eager to bite into people. My family's been doing it for years. You need one out in the Reach. Don't want to be alone when some forsworn comes swinging. I personally trained a whole litter for the Jarl. That reminds me, I was gonna deliver some dog food to the keep. Spiced beef, their favorite.
One of my customers? Did you know I inherited the store from my late husband? Shame what happened to him. He had such good taste. I inherited the store from my husband. His father was Arnleif. My husband Gunnar died about 5 years ago, forsworn attack. I miss that stubborn oaf.
Well, that is certainly disturbing. There are also 2 other members of the cult, however, we've never seen them before. Just goes to show you never know the full extent of someone, especially their deepest, darkest secrets. But without further ado, the feast must go on. Eola has made Verulus lie upon the altar and has invited us to make the kill. Oh, the things you do for a Daedric artifact.
He looks so sweet. Go ahead, have the first bite.
Mortal, I am Namira, the Lady of Decay. Your consumption of the blood and bile of Arkay's own is pleasing to me. I give you my ring. Wear it, and when you feast on the flesh of the dead, I will grant you my power. Wallow in your wretchedness, my newest champion.
I knew when you walked into the Hall of the Dead that you were special. And here you are, champion of Namira, keeper of her ring. You're everything I hoped you'd be. It's an honor, champion. Feel free to stay and mingle with your new coven.
We just spoke with the Lady of Decay herself, the Daedric Prince Namira. Additionally, she gave us the Ring of Namira, her Daedric artifact.
No. This coven has existed for thousands of years. Namira is a goddess. She has been worshipped since time began. I'm honored to be leading the latest generation of Namira's faithful, those who have embraced what they are.
Congratulations, guys. We are now part of a cannibal cult, dedicated to a Daedric lord, but we did get this sick ring, so let's inspect it further and check out what it does. The Ring of Namira is an interesting one, and it is through this ring we can perform cannibalistic acts throughout Skyrim. As for the effects themselves, it means you will get a 50 bonus to stamina, and every time you feed on a corpse, you receive 50 health and 50% health regeneration for 5 minutes. So, this is an okay item really. You can enchant better rings yourself, potions and healing spells are also more effective and quicker than sitting down and eating a corpse. However, if you want to be a disgusting cannibal abomination, then perhaps this ring is for you. There is another benefit to this quest as well. You can take the lovely Eola as a companion on your cannibalistic adventures. Eola is a Breton who is a powerful mage, adept in destruction and alteration, mainly using lightning-based spells, but also can summon Daedra and raise undead. She has a preference for one-handed weapons and light armor, while she is also capable when it comes to sneaking, so she can work well enough as an assassin's companion. So if a high priestess of the Coven of Namira is your kind of companion, then she is for you. Well then, spent just 1 day in Markarth, and now we're a cannibal. I thought a killing in the streets was crazy enough, but I guess we were wrong. It's also rather uncomfortable knowing that there are 3 of Markarth's respected citizens that are also cannibals. I think we've had enough crazy for today. Bugger the Jarl, I don't even want to see him anymore. I'm Scott from FudgeMuppet, and I'm getting out of here. I've got some people to eat.